ॐ वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। अथ तृतीयोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच ये मे मतमिदं नित्यम् अनुतिष्ठन्ति मानवाः श्रद्धावन्तो न सूयन्तः मुच्यन्ते तेऽपि कर्मभिः। We have seen this shloka along with the Bhashyam. Bhagavan Krishna says that those people who follow my Upadesha, Matam, Mama Matam, ye Anutishtanti, ye Manavaha, ye Shraddhavantaha, Anasuyantaha, San, Mama Madam Nityam, always, Sada, Sada Anutishtanti, Jivane. Te Karma Bihi, Karma Palabihi, Dharma Dharmakhyaihi Muchyante iti. So those who follow my teaching, they are free. They are free from the hold of karma pala. Karma pala, which is in the form of papa punya, that alone perpetuates samsara, which is in the form of punarjanma and punarapi jananam, punarapi varnam. So one becomes free from this transmigration of life and death. Those who follow my teaching. My teaching, what is my teaching? Karma yoga, karma yogena chitta shuddhi, jnana yogyata prapti. Then jnanam is gained through shastra patanam, shravanam, mananam, vidyastanam, through guru upasadanam, etc. All those things. That is my teaching. That is the teaching of Bhagavan. The emphasis on karma yoga here. Jnanam comes later. Preparation for jnanam, which means karma yoga. So be a karma yogi. Do your karma, swadharma, in keeping you to your varna, ashrama, the stage of life, whatever maybe it is. So do what is to be done in the spirit of yoga, the attitude of yoga, Ishwararapana Buddhi, Prasada Buddhi. That is the teaching. Jnana Yoga talked about second chapter, and Karma Yoga is being talked about in this chapter, third chapter. That is Matam, Mama Matam, my teaching. And going to be elaborated further. So here, in this shloka, Anvaya Mukhena, those who follow my teaching, they get free from the hold of samsara. And what will happen to those people who do not follow my teaching? Those who don't accept, those who find fault with my teaching, what will happen to them? That is said in the 32nd shloka, Yatireka Mukhena. Anvaya Mukhena, 31st shloka. Yatireka Mukhena, 32nd. So we will read 32nd. Ye tve tadabhyasuyantaha.
Ye tve tadapyasunyantaha.
Na nutishtanti me matam.
Nanutiष्ठन्ति me matam.
Sarva jnana vimudhanstan.
Sarvajnanavimudhanstan.
Viddhi nashtana chetasaha.
Viddhi nashtana chetasaha.
Purva shloke ye anutishtanti. Ye shraddhavantaha anasuyantaha anutishtanti. Asmin shloke ye na anutishtanti. Those who do not follow. Me matam na anutishtanti. Ye manavaha. Ye two is for Vailakshanyartham, to show the contrast. That is why Anvaya Yatireka. To Vailakshanya, in contrast to what has been mentioned in the previous shloka. Previous shloka mentioned those who follow my teaching, those who accept my teaching, those who do not find fault with my teaching. Whereas those who find fault, those who do not accept my teaching, that is why two. Etu, whereas those, etat, abhyasuyantaha. Mama matam, my teaching, my upadesha, me matam, etat, etat, this matam, mama matam, me matam, anutishtanti, te, may you know them, vidhi. Vidhi is Lotlakara Madhyama Purusha Ekavachana. May you know what Sarvajnana Vimudhan plus Tan, Sandhi Vichedam Karaniyam. Sarvajnana Vimudhan. It is Titiya Vibhakti Bhagavachanam. Sarvajnana Vimuda is a Pratipadika. Sarvajnana Vimudhan 2-3, like Raman. Tan referring to this Manavaha who are Abhyasuyantaha. Abhyasuyantaha is opposite to Anasuyantaha. Abhyasuyantaha. Those who find fault, those who don't accept my teaching, those are very critical with regard to my teaching. Abhyasuyantaha. And they are Sarvajnana Vimudhan Tan, Sarvajnana Vimudhan Achetasaha, Nashtan Achetasaha. Nashtan. Sarvajnana Vimudhan Nashtan. What Achetasaha? Achetasaha also referring to those people only. Achetasaha is Nanj Bhaguvri Samasa. It's a Bhaguvri Samasa here. Achetasaha. Achetasaha is Na Vidyate Chetaha Yasya Saha. Chetaha is mind. Chetaha, Chetasi, Chetamsi, Napumsakalinga, like Manaha, Manasi, Manamsi. Manaha, Manasi, Manamsi. Achetasaha is Dvitiya Vibhakti Bhagavachanam. All the words, they are in Dvitiya Vibhakti. You can see in the second line. Sarvajnana Vimudhan Tan Nashtan Achetasaha. This is the karma for the kriya, for the kriya padam, vidhi, vidhatu. May you know them to be those who are deluded with regard to knowledge of everything, and may you know them to be nashtan, destroyed. May you know them to be destroyed. Achetasaha, because Achetasaha referring to the people, those who do not have the Viveka Buddhi, those who lack Viveka. Those people, may you know them, those who are devoid of discrimination, Achetasaha, Sarvajnana Vimudhan, deluded with regard to knowledge of everything, may you know them to be destroyed. So, Tan Vidhi, Tan Nashtan Vidhi, that is the Vakya. Ye Manavaha Abhyasuyantaha, finding fault, me matam, etat me matam na anutishtanti, Tan, so ye Tan, yettat sambandaha. When yet is there, tat will be there. Yet tad. So ye and Tan. Tan kan, the Tan referring to Achetasaha Sarvajnana Vimudhan, Tan Nashtan. So objective complement. Tan Nashtan Vidhi. That is the main. Other words are adjective. Because it is in Dvitiya Vibhakti, therefore everything is in Dvitiya Vibhakti. Tan Nashtan Vidhi. Tan referring to this Abhyasuyantaha. Those who find fault critical with regard to my teaching. Tan Nashtan Vidhi. May you know them to be destroyed. Tan is qualified by Achetasaha. Further, Sarvajnana Vimudhan. So Achetasaha is also referring to those people. Nanj Bhagavrihi. Na Chetaha. न विद्यते चेतः यस्य सः. Chetas sakaranta. If it is napumsakalinga, then chetah, chetasi, chetamsi, chetah, chetasi, chetamsi. But achetasa is because it is Bhuvrihi. So therefore it is declined like Vedas. Vedaha, Vedaso, Vedasaha. Vedasam, Vedaso, Vedasaha. That is what is here. So chetaha, chetaso, chetasaha. Chetasam, chetaso, chetasaha. It is Pullinga. Chetas, if it is Pullinga, then it has to be Bhuvrihi. And here it is Nashtan Achetasaha. Na Chetasaha, Achetasaha. Therefore, it is Bhaguvri. Not, in fact, Na Chetasaha, you should not say. Na Chetasaha, if you say, it becomes Tatpurusha. It is Na Vidyate Chetaha Vivekaha Yasya Saha Achetasaha. Achetaha. Achetaha. We are Achetaha. Chetaha. Chetaso. Chetasaha. Chetasam. Chetaso. Chetasaha. So, Na Vidyate Cheta. Na Vidyate Chetaha Vivekaha Yasya Saha Te Achetaha. And Dvitiya Vibhakti Bhagavachanam Chetasaha 2-3. So those people who are devoid of discrimination, Chetaha means mind, but here it is, you have to take it as Viveka. Those who lack in Viveka, lack in discrimination, and those who are Vimudhaha, Visheshena, Vividam, Mudaha, deluded with regard to Jnanam, the knowledge of Sarva, everything. With regard to knowledge of Atma, Anatma, with regard to knowledge of Dharma, Adharma, with regard to knowledge of Dharmartha, Kama, Purushata, even with regard to Purushartha also, they are completely deluded. Tan, Nashtan, they are Nashtan Vidhi, they are destroyed. Iti, may you know. So those who don't follow my teaching, those who are critical with regard to my teaching, they get perished. They get perished. How the perishment destroyed means not that they will get physically destroyed. They are destroyed, spiritually destroyed. So people who have opposite nature in contrast to what has been talked about in the 31st shloka, they are asuya, therefore they don't follow the teaching. These people are finished. These people will not have spiritual growth, spiritual progress, because not only spiritual progress, material progress also not possible. They will lose both. They will lose both material prosperity as well as spiritual prosperity. Because they don't follow my teaching. My teaching in the form of the Veda, they are ashraddhavan. They don't believe, they don't accept Shastram. Veda Purva talks about varieties of ends and varieties of means for achieving various ends. They don't accept. So therefore, neither they will get Dharmartha Kama and what to talk about Jnanam. So therefore, both Laukika Vishaya as well as Jnana Vishaya, both they will be losing. So therefore, they are finished. Iti. We will read the Bhashyam. Yetu iti.
Yetu
Yetu iti.
Yetu.
Yetu.
Tat viparitaha.
Tad viparitaha.
Etat mama matham.
Etat mama matam.
Abhyasuyantaha.
Abhyasuyantaha.
Nindantaha.
Nindantaha.
Nanutishtanti na anuvartante.
Nanutishtanti na anuvartante.
Me matam.
मे मतं
सर्वेषु ज्ञानेषु
सर्वेषु ज्ञानेषु
विविधं मूढाः ते
विविधं मूढाः ते
सर्वज्ञानविमूढान्तान्
सर्वज्ञानविमूढान्
विद्धि
विद्धि
नष्टान् नाशं गतान्
नष्टान्
नाशं
गतान्
अचेतसः अविवेकिनः
अचेतसः अविवेकिनः
अचेतसः those who are lacking not mind viveka, that's why avivekinah, vivekin vivekah asya asti iti vivekino vivekinah. Avivekinah is na vidyate, vivekah na vidyate vivekah you can say, but here it is avivekinah is different. Here you have to say avivekinah is na vivekinah vivekinah. Achetasa is Bahuvri Samasa. Vivekin, Viveki, Vivekino, Vivekinaha. Na Vivekinaha, Avivekinaha. Or we can take it as, okay, it is better to take it as Vivekin, Viveki, Vivekino, Vivekinaha. That is. Anyway, the meaning is same. So no problem in that. So, but Bhashyakara says Vivekinaha, therefore from that only we understand here the word Chetas means Viveki, Viveka. Chetaha means Chetas, literally mean mind. In this context, it is means Viveka, Viveka Buddhi. Lack of Viveka Buddhi, discrimination. Discrimination with regard to what is right, what is wrong, Dharma, Adharma, Vishaye, Atma, Anatma, Vishaye. First Dharma, Adharma, Vishaye, then only Atma, Anatma, Vishaye. With regard to Dharma, Adharma, Vishaye itself, they don't have Viveka. Then what to talk about Atma, Anatma, Vishaya? We have to follow a Karma Yoga. To be a Karma Yogi, first one needs to have this Purushartha Viveka. Purushartha Viveka. Because Purushartha Viveka is there, one need not pursue Jnanam immediately to start with. Purushartha Viveka is there, they have the very good understanding that this pursuit of Karma Yoga is important. Pursuit of Karma Yoga is for ultimately for the purpose of moksha. So with the moksha as a background, as the end, moksha as the end, at the background, at the back of their mind, always a moksha is there as the goal, and they perform Karma Yoga because that is a means. That is the sign of the person having the Viveka, Purushartha Viveka. But this person is Achetasaha, doesn't have Viveka. Dharma, Dharma Viveka, not there. Purushartha Viveka, not there. Then what to talk about? Atma, Atma Viveka. So therefore, Avivekinaha. Avivekinaha, Nashtan, Nasham Gata. Two, on the other hand, to contrast with the previous shloka, Etu, those, on the other hand, Tad Viparitaha. That is with two is equal to Tad Viparitaha. 2 is equal to Tad Viparitaha. Tad Viparitaha, Tasya Viparitaha. Kasya Purva shloke ye uktaha janaha. Tad Viparitaha. In contrast to the people who have been talked about in the previous shloka, opposite to that. Tad Viparitaha etat mama matam abhyasuyantaha. Abhyasuyantaha nindantaha. Criticizing, cavilling, finding fault, critical with regard to my upadesha, my teaching. Therefore, they don't follow. Na anutishtanti, na anuvartante. what me matam, my upadesha, mama matam. And who are they? They are sarva jnana vimudaha. Sarveshu jnaneshu sarva jnana. Sarveshu jnaneshu sarva jnaneshu. Sarva jnaneshu vividam mudaha. Vimudaha is vividam mudaha vimudaha. Sarveshu jnaneshu with regard to all knowledge. All knowledge means it includes aparavidya also. That's why material progress also. Regard to material accomplishments also. Vimudaha, variously. Vividam. Mudaha, deluded. So they are deluded with regard to Purvabhaga of the Veda, that is Dharmartha Kama. Of course, Jnanam, Jnana Vishayapi. So therefore, completely deluded. Therefore, Sarvajnana Vimudaha Te Vidya Vibhakti Bhagavachanam Tan. Therefore, Sarvajnana Vimudan Tan Vidhi. May you know those, them to be Nashta, Nasham Gata. They have attained destruction. Destruction, what destruction? Not physical destruction. Spiritually, they are destroyed. It means they are away from spiritual growth, far away. Therefore, it is not possible for them any sort of accomplishment in spiritual life. Spirituality itself is not there. They know what it is. So the very purpose of life is lost. The very purpose of life itself is lost. Having taken Manushya Janma, ye atmanam aviditva asmat lokat preiti saha te kripanaha. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it is said, having taken the Manushya Janma, not knowing Atma, those people who leave this earth, Prithvi, they are kripanaha, miserly people. Bhagavan has given the wealth in the form of the buddhi for gaining jnanam, and Manushya Janma is durlabham, having got that, not applying their buddhi and not striving for gaining jnanam, the very purpose of human life is wasted. That's why wealth is there, they don't know to use it. How do you call them? What do you call them? They are miserly people, miserliness. Kripanaha. Kripanasya bhavaha karpanya. Karpanya. Karpanya dosho pagatasvabhavaha. Prichami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha. Arjuna says in the second chapter. Karpanya dosha. Kripanasya bhavaha karpanya. So, therefore, these people are spiritually destroyed. That is the purpose of this human birth is wasted. It is not gained. Therefore, it is wasted. It is not even started. Spiritual life is not started. If it is started, if the person has not accomplished, at least it will continue in the next Janma. In the next Janma, the person will continue from where he has left. Not he will start again from the beginning. From where he had left, from there he will start. With regard to spiritual matters, he will start from where he had left. Whereas with regard to Lokika matters, again he has to start from ABCD only. So that arrangement is there in the Srishti. So whatever path or whatever progress a person has gained in spiritual life, from there he starts. How do you say that? There are many examples. There were many living examples and there are many examples. Some people are born with a spiritual inclination. How do you explain that? Because of their past Janma, they have worked for it, and in this Janma they are born. Ramana Maharshi example. In fact, he didn't have a guru. In this Janma, he didn't have a guru. It doesn't mean he didn't have a guru. He would have had a guru in the previous Janma, would have got Jnanam, and it has continued. The wheel rotates, that it has come in this Janma is born as a Jnani, or Jnanam happened all of a sudden, some turning point, some small thing in life that will trigger, started. So therefore, there is no loss. In fact, in the 6th chapter, Arjuna asks, what will happen to the people? Ayati Shraddhayopetaha, people who have struggled, but their effort is not sufficient. What will happen to them? Will they fail in gaining both? Both is this material prosperity as well as spiritual. Material means not literally here only, that other loka prapti. Will they lose both igaloka sukham as well as paraloka? Both will they lose? No. Nahi kalyanakrit kaschit durgatim tata gachati. This is the assurance Bhagavan Krishna gives. Nahi kalyanakrit. Those who have attempted this kalyana, this mangala karyam, the spiritual pursuit, they never get perished. Nahi kalyanakrit durgatim. They never gain durgati. Always sukha gati only. Therefore, for these people, for them it will take so many janmas, because they are saddha-jnana vimodhan achetasaha nasham gatavantaha iti. Okay. Then, why these people, they don't follow the teaching of me? Why they find fault? Why they are critical? Why they act violating my teaching? That is being said in the next shloka, 32nd. Bhashyakara gives a sangati. Let us read. Kasmat punaha karanat
Kasmat punah karanat
tvadiyam matam nanutishtanti
tadiyam matam
paradharman anutishtanti
paradharman anutishtanti
swadharmam cha na anuvartante
swadharmam cha na anuvartante
tvat pratikulaha katam na bibhyati
pratikulaha katam na bibhyati
tvat shasana atikrama doshat.
vachasana dosha.
You can guess here. Kasmat punaha karanat tvidiyam matam na anutishtanti paradharman anutishtanti. Who is saying this? Sudharmam cha na anuvartante tvat pratikulaha katam na bibhyati tvat shasana atikrama doshat. Who is saying this? You can guess by seeing. You can guess. You can see by seeing the sentence, by reading the sentence, you can make out. Kasmat karanat tvidiyam matam na anutashtanti means what?
Okay, Arjuna is saying.
It is Arjuna. Arjuna is saying. For what reason? For kasmat karanat punaha again is because it is to show that the previous shloka that they are get destroyed. Therefore, again, kasmat, because of what reason? Tadiyam matam na anutishtanti. Some people, that is the previous shloka, those people who have mentioned abhyasuyantaha na anutishtanti. For what reason? They don't follow your teaching. Therefore, they follow. For what reason they don't follow your teaching? It means somebody else other than Krishna is only saying. Who is that? There are only two people. Of course, it is not Krishna, because your teaching is pointed out. If Krishna is speaking, then he would say Mama Matam, Me Matam, Madiyam Matam, he would have said. But Twadiyam Matam is there. Therefore, these are the words of Arjuna as presented by Bhashyakara. Arjuna doesn't say, Bhashyakara connects to the connecting next shloka, he says, Arjuna thinking so. Arjuna would be thinking. Therefore, these are the we can be assumed to be the statements of Arjuna. It is not there in the Gita, but Bhashyakara presents the Sangati as though the Sangati is the words of the Arjuna. If Arjuna may be thinking so, the Krishna would have understood. Therefore, he says the next shloka, 33rd shloka. So here, Tvadiyam Matam Manavaha, that people Abhyasuyantaha Nanutishtanti, Paradharma Anutishtanti. They don't follow your teaching. Not only that, Paradharma, they take up to the dharma of other people. Not doing their dharma, Sudharma, Paradharma Anutishtanti, Tvadiyam Matam Nanutishtanti, Paradharma Anutishtanti. They take up the duty, the dharma, the karma of other people. It means they do whatever they like by dictated by the raga dvesha, they do whatever they like. They don't do their swadharma. Swadharmam cha anuvartante. Paradharma anutishtanti, swadharmam cha anuvartante. They don't follow their swadharma. Giving up the swadharma, they take to paradharma, tadiyam matam anutishtanti, tvat pratikulaha, opposite to you, opposite to your teaching. Tvat pratikulaha, tvat mata pratikulaha. What they do is quite opposite to what you teach. Na anukulaha pratikulaha. Pratikula is opposite. Katam na bibyati te, why they are not afraid of violating your instruction? Tat shasana atikrama dosha. Atikrama is transgressing, violating. Why they are not afraid? Na bibyati. Bibyati is Bhagavachanam. Vibyati is Ekvachanam, no, not Bhagavachanam. Okay, Vibyati. Vibyati, Vibyataha, Vibyanti. Vibyati is Ekvachanam. Katam na Vibyati. Katam na Vibyati. How Bibyati is Bhagavachanam, sorry. It is Bhagavachanam. Bibitaha, Bibyati. Okay. It looks T is there, therefore looks like this is second Bibeti, Bibitaha, two forms are there. If I remember correctly, Vivachanam and Bhagavachanam is Bibyati. Therefore, only Katam, Te, all the words are, you can see why it's another way also we can infer it is Bibyati. How I inferred is Anutishtanti, Anuvartante, all are Bhagavachanam. Here, how can be Ekavachanam? Okay. That's why it is Bibyati is Bhagavachanam only. Bibyati. Katam Tena Bibyati. These are small tips from that you can make out. Bibyati is because only T is there. Therefore, it is possibly Ekavachanam. That sometimes the confusion comes. Bibeti is Ekavachanam. And Bibyati is Bhagavachanam. Bhagavachanam, it is, if you don't know, you can infer it from the other Kriya Padam in the Akya. Anutishtanti, Anuvartante. Therefore, Bibyati must be Bhagavachanam. Katam te na Bibyanti. How is that they are not afraid of transgressing your Shasana, your command, your Upadesha. Shasana is Upadesha. Or order. How they are not afraid of violating your order. Dosha, the defect. The dosha of violating, transgressing your order. Tatra, with regard to that, Tatra is Tasmin Vishaye. Tatra, with regard to this question of Arjuna did not ask, thinking that this could be the question of Arjuna, Krishna says. Iti Bhashyakara says. So to iti, okay. Arjunasya Prashnam. This could be the Arjunasya Prashnaha Bhavati iti chintayitva. Bhashyakara. Iti chintayitva Krishnaha vadati iti Bhashyakaraha vadati. Okay. So tu iti. Arjuna may think iti Krishna thinks iti Bhashyakara connects presence. Visangati. Hope not confusing. Let us read the 33rd shloka. Very important shloka, 33rd and 34th. The two shlokas are often misunderstood and misquoted. That is why it's very important. Let us read 33rd. Sadrisham Chesh. Okay, before that. Okay, anyway, we will read the shloka because Gita Priya Bodhini we can read. We can do it. Maybe we can do after this. Sadrisham Cheshtate Swasyaha.
Sadrisham cheshtate swasyaha
Prakriter Jnanavanapi.
Prakrtirjnanavanapi
Prakritim Yanti Bhutani.
Prakritim yanti bhutani
Nigraha Kim Karishyati.
Nigraha karishyati.
See, if you take the meaning as such, Swasyaha Prakritehe Jnanavanapi Cheshtate. I'm just giving the Anvaya and you can understand the meaning of the shloka. Simple meaning of the shloka. Swasyaha Prakritehe, in keeping with the Prakriti of oneself, one's Prakriti. Swasyaha Prakritehe. Swasyaha Prakritehe Anusaram. Sadrisham is Anusaram, keeping with, in accordance with one's Prakriti. Even Jnani also, Jnanavan. Jnanavan api cheshtate. Even a Jnani, wise man, he acts in keeping with, in accordance with one's Prakriti, one's nature. Therefore, Bhutani yanti Prakritim. Bhutani Prakritim yanti. Another vakyam. Beings act in keeping with their nature. Prakriti. Nigraha kim karishyati. What can the Nigraha means withdrawal, control. What can the control do? This is the meaning. What can the control do? It is what can the control do means it's not a question, it's not a question expecting answer. It is akshepartha. It means control cannot be done, no control possible. All the beings act in accordance with their Prakriti. Therefore, Nigraha kim kari. What is the use of this Nigraha control, self-control? The self-control itself not possible. Akshepartha. This is what this meaning of this shloka, literal meaning. This is what the meaning. Of course, this is what the meaning is, literal meaning as well as this meaning. If you take this shloka alone, then everything, all the beings act in keeping with the Prakriti. Therefore, there cannot be control, self-control, self-management. So let everybody act. Then what? Then why do we need Shastram? Why do we need Veda? Why do we need teaching? Bhagavan, why should Bhagavan Krishna should teach Gita? Let Arjuna also act in keeping with the Prakriti. Arjuna has got Prakriti, his nature. Let him also act with the Prakriti. Then why should he give Upadesha in the middle of the battlefield? Not required. Why should we need Veda Purva, Vedan, Anta, Shastram? Veda is not required, Dharma Shastram not required. In fact, no Shastram, no regulations, no teaching, nothing is required because beings act in keeping with the nature and control, the self, the managing control is not possible. Then there will not be any order also in the society. We don't need any order, any penal codes, IPC, not required. Let everybody act in their own, in their own nature, in keeping with the nature, then what will happen? There will be complete chaos. Therefore, is it what the teaching of the Gita? This is violating to what Krishna had said before. Me matam, he says. Me matam, mama teaching, my teaching, my teaching. Then at the same time he says, Prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Is it not contradicting? No, it is not contradicting, because the shloka doesn't stop here. The next shloka he says, here what is highlighted, that we have to understand, what is highlighted is the strength, the power of Prakriti. Prakriti means nature. Bhashyakara will say Prakriti is samskara. He will use the word samskara. Prakriti means nature. Samskara. Samskara is the impression of the minds. I mean, the English translation, impression on the mind, impression of the mind. The mind which has gathered some vasanas, some impressions. How does the mind gain the vasanas? Because of karma. Because of karma. How the karma? Not one karma. The karma have been repeatedly done, because of which the mind has gained that vasana, that like a vessel which is used for cooking. If you keep garlic in that for a long time, what will happen? Because of the contact with the garlic, in spite of washing, that will smell garlic only. Similarly, the vessel which is used for cooking, that blackness will be there in the vessel. That is in contact with the fire. That will be there. It will not go. So it's natural. So because of repeated doing of an action, then naturally mind is also like any other object. It is also an object only. Mind also is an object only. Subtle object that also catches the impressions of the actions, the activities. Then the nature of the action, in keeping with the nature of the action, the mind also catches the impressions of the actions. If the person does punya karma, all punya karma, it does punyam, karma is done because the person is a generous person, is a good person, has some good qualities. So the karma also, the doing also implies some predispositions. The person has good disposition, therefore does good karma. The person has bad disposition, therefore it does bad karma, papa karma. And that also again, that good disposition, bad disposition, that also depends on the previous samskara only. Therefore, samskara, it has been continuing since long janma. We don't know how we have this samskara. Why some people have shastra, this samskara to study shastram. It's punya karma. Not everybody is ready to listen to the shastram. Some people definitely must have done some punya karma. They're inclined to listen to the shastram, the teaching. Not all people are interested. So it is some punya karma, some thing they have done. That's good. Samskara is there. Therefore, they are inclined to listen to the teaching. If that is not there, then the preference will be on something else. They will not be listening to the shastram, listening to the shastram and following the shastram, following the commands of Krishna, as he says in the Gita. So all this implies some purva samskara that one cannot deny. All are born, everybody is born as a baby only, suddenly doesn't become a big person. But when they grow, all the babies do not have the same disposition. They have different dispositions. How do you account for this? That you can say that you have been carrying it from the previous janma, not immediate previous janma. It could be either immediate previous janma or the janma before. So many janmas, they have been doing some karma, some action. Some people would have done some upasana, etc. Therefore, in this janma, they are born with some good samskara, some devika samskara, and they find happiness in doing upasana. Some are born with certain interest in music, for example. How they become knowledgeable without being exposed to music, how they have this knowledge, how do you account for that? Mozart. It's all previous samskara. Therefore, with regard to Laukika Vishaya as well as the spiritual matter also, these are all the samskaras. The memorization of Gita or the Upanishads, mantras, etc., that also create good samskaras. That is why it has been asked by every acharya to memorize the text. Memorizing not just for the sake of memorization, not just for the sake of proving oneself, a showing off. No, it will create good samskara, because the same shloka has been repeatedly you have been chanting in your mind. So that is a samskara. It creates good samskara. Whatever bad impressions are the vasanas which are not conducive, it was there. It will be replaced. It will be replaced by the good ones. You have to do it deliberately. If Prakriti is Prakriti is powerful, it's natural, then how can you do deliberately? Nigraha kim karishyati. Then how can you say deliberately? Deliberately is, therefore, when we say deliberately, one has to overcome the bad samskaras, the bad vasanas, which one have been incurring from the previous janma. Deliberately, one has to replace it. It means free will also is implied. Prakritim yanti bhutani, it is fine. Beings act in keeping with their own nature, fine. But with come to human beings also a bhuta, a being only. He also acts in keeping with his nature, fine. But he has got buddhi. Bhagavan has given him buddhi faculty. Therefore, free will is there. Therefore, in spite of being pulled by, in spite of being driven by samskara, he can apply his free will. Deliberately and try to change, try to replace, try to have at least some say over the samskara which drives them in particular actions. That is possible. Why possible? Because buddhi is there. Otherwise, why buddhi is there? Otherwise, why buddhi should be given to human beings? That alone distinguishes from the other beings, buddhi. Nigraha kim karishyati. Nigraha, with regard to Prakriti, nothing can be done. Whatever Prakriti a person has got, that he has gained because of Purva Janma karma, and therefore that nothing can be done with regard to Prakriti. He has come with that Prakriti, he has come with that samskara, nothing can be done with regard to that, but he can apply his free will. And application of free will also, to be noted here, not that he can change his Prakriti just by applying his free will and deliberate doing. It is not possible to change it completely here. It is a gradual process. It takes time. As it took time to gather this Prakriti, this samskara, similarly replacing the bad samskara. We are talking about samskara means bad samskara, replacing the bad samskara by the good ones also takes time. When a vehicle is traveling at a speed of 200 kilometers, if you want to stop it, you can apply brake. It will not stop immediately. It will travel, in fact, few kilometers, in fact, and then only it will stop. Similarly, when somebody asks Chinmayananji, I've got all the bad habits. Now I want to become this. From tomorrow onwards, I want to become this. So please advise me, what should I do? He said, don't do. Don't do. From tomorrow onwards, you can suddenly you cannot become, you can't give up your old, your the habits, whatever the bad habits you have. Suddenly you cannot give up. And from tomorrow onwards, you become a good person. That is not possible. You continue that. In fact, he advises, you continue with what you are doing for some time, slowly change, slow change. Because that has been so strong, that Prakriti has been so strong, that Vasanas has been so strong. So one has to slowly have mastery over that. It is like stopping the vehicle running at a high speed. Suppose if the person has weak, bad samskara, then for him it is nigraha is possible. With little free will, the little amount of free will, he can have easily manage his Prakriti. So managing the Prakriti depends on the strength of the Prakriti. If the Prakriti is so strong, then it takes time. If the Prakriti is weak, then it doesn't take much time. It can be easily managed in this life itself. In this life itself, within a limited time period, it can be easily managed, it can be replaced by the good ones, possible. So therefore, nigraha depends on the strength of the Prakriti. Prakriti cannot be replaced just by your wish. It requires your free will and deliberate action. Prakriti, you cannot remove it. Therefore, nigraha kim karishyati. Prakriti will be there. In spite of Prakriti being there, applying your free will, let the Prakriti be there, but you can change your karma, you can change your action. You may think, you may want to harm a person, and you know very well, now you are a spiritual person, you know, harming the person incurs papam. But Prakriti is where you want to do himsa to that person, but by applying your free will, you can refrain from doing it. That wanting to harm, wanting to disturb, wanting to destroy, that doesn't go away. That will be there. But you apply your free will and refrain from harming the person. That is possible. So, wanting to harm, that is a Prakriti. That with regard to that, nigraha is not possible. But with regard to putting the thinking into action, that nigraha is possible. That is what the shloka means. Therefore, the second line, which is often quoted and misinterpreted, Prakriti myanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati, that has to be understood very clearly. With regard to the Prakriti, the vasanas which we have been incurring from the previous actions done in the previous janmas, with regard to that, nigraha is not possible, whereas with regard to executing a karma in keeping with that Prakriti, one has free will and one has nigraha. With regard to karma, it is, and also that also depends on the strength of the Prakriti. If the Prakriti is so strong, one cannot even change the course of the Prakriti, and therefore the action cannot be changed, because the Prakriti is so strong. Therefore, because the Prakriti is so strong, therefore karma also, the action also will be in keeping with the Prakriti. Over a period of time, one can have deliberate control, refraining from doing certain action, and slowly over Prakriti. That's a matter of time. As your karma is dictated by your Prakriti. Since you have free will, therefore you can change since you have free will means kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, manyatava kartum shakyam. Free will is with regard to doing. With regard to thinking, you don't have choice because thinking is because of the previous vasana. You don't have choice. Therefore, nigraha kim karishyati. Whereas with regard to doing, because of free will, you have choice. You have choice in executing your thinking. And again, here, if that vasana is so strong with regard to action also, that doing, you don't have that much free will. Forced by Prakriti, you will do, but over a period of time can be changed. That possibility is there. That possibility is given. It's given. That possibility also is given. That is not ruled out. That is why Shastras are there. And if the Prakriti is weak, then by free will, one can easily, deliberately change the course of karma, the action, and slowly can replace the Prakriti by the new Prakriti, new Vasanas. Previously, the Purva Samskara were not conducive for one's spiritual progress. Now that can be replaced by the new Samskaras. That is, new Samskaras are created by new actions, new good actions, Punya Karma. So, therefore, this shloka is important shloka to be understood. Prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. By just merely reading this sentence, one may think that everything is predestined. There is no free will. That is not the meaning. If there is no free will means then no karma shastra, that is both Veda Purva not required, no dharma shastra required. Free will is there. Free will is there. At the same time, your Prakriti also is there. You can master your Prakriti slowly over a period of time. It is possible. Why? How it is possible? Because you are a human being, Bhagavan has given buddhi. Because buddhi is there, therefore kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, manyatava kartum shakyam. The very famous example is Duryodhana. Duryodhana, like other Pandavas, he also has studied Shastra. He knows Dharma, he knows Adharma. Janami Dharmam, nachame pravrittihi. Na Janami Adharmam, nachame nivrittihi. Duryodhana, we say, is a bad person. Doesn't he know Dharma like Yudhishthira? He has knowledge of Dharma. In fact, he probably more than Yudhishthira, but he cannot help because that is how he has been nurtured from the childhood by his uncle Shakuni, etc. So therefore, his Prakriti is so strong, knowing very well it is Himsa, it is Papa, he cannot refrain from doing it. There Nigraha Kim Karishyati. If Duryodhana, if he wants, if he had earned some grace, probably would have been possible. If by lot of effort, you could have changed this Prakriti, but the grace itself is not there. The grace is not there. How do you know grace not there? Krishna was not on the side of the Kaurava. Krishna symbolizes grace, Ishvara Anugraha. Ishvara Anugraha is there, then Nigraha is possible. Ishvara Anugraha was on the side of Pandava, not on the side of. In fact, Duryodhana did not opt for Ishvara Anugraha. He did not ask for Krishna. Krishna stands for Ishvara Anugraha. Krishna. Therefore, Duryodhana, he opted for his army, not for Krishna. Therefore, Anugraha was on the side of Arjuna. Therefore, they won the war. So, where is Ishvara Anugraha? There Dharma is, and therefore they win the war. Therefore, Ishvara Anugraha. Anugraha is also required. Anugraha only alone manifests in the form of the free will, which one can deliberately apply and change the course of this Prakriti. Prakriti propelled, Prakriti urged this action. So therefore, free will also is there, Prakriti also is there. Both are there. We cannot take one side. Okay, not everything is predestined. This is a big discussion, big argument. Not among the spiritual people. Among the people, they will say everything is karma, everything is karmic. They use the word karmic. Everything is karmic. Everything is done, dictated by karma. What can we do? What can we do? They do everything. At the same time, they will do what can we do? What can we do? It is not true. Free will is there. Free will is there. And Prakriti is determined by the past actions. So action determines your thoughts, thought determines your action. They are connected. So one need to have this mastery over Prakriti. That is what is intended here. And that is possibility. That possibility is intended here. That will come the next shloka. So both shloka are connected, 33 and 34. We will read the Bhashyam and further the meaning in the next class. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam Navidusura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ವಿಜಯ್.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಶರಣ್ಜಿ.